Welcome to Kilkenny Country this evening. That was my version of Little Bit of Tear Let Me Down. And now, ladies and gentlemen, over to my special guest, McGinty. Tonight we have a great support of Irish music for you and a very special guest in the studio, all the way from County Offaly, McGinty, who will be very well known to people around London. McGinty and the Diddy Man. You're very welcome, Mike.
Thank you very much, Eamon. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Well, it's fantastic to see. I haven't seen you for a long, long time. I think the last time would have been 78, 79, Bothwell Club Hayes.
Cool, yeah. I had black curly hair then. That's a long time
It
ago.
has changed slightly.
Yeah.
How did you start at that? How did you get into your country music? Were you always into country music, or is it just something you...
No, not until I came to England, and when I came to a place called Addlestone, and there was a club there, and I used to go there every weekend, and I only done it for the crack, just go in and play a few tunes and sing, and eventually got a band together in the area, and went from there, and I'm going back maybe over 40 years ago, Eamon,
It wouldn't have been the easiest time now. Not like today, where we have, you can get into music fairly easier today than back in those days, because at that time, we had very few singers going.
Very few, but I used to, when I had a night off, I really enjoyed going up to the Galtee. That was my place, And
so it's always been country music?
That's right, yeah. And
no rock and roll or pop?
No, I loved the scene there. I loved me and Big Tom and Joe Dole, and they were my favourites.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that, And
of course, you've been with most of the big bands. Of course, you were a backer in Cricketwood for years with all the big bands.
Yeah, I'd done quite a bit of support band. I'd done for the late Joe Dolan, his second last gig there, and then I'd done one with Big Tom, and I'd done a concert with Foster and Allen. I actually supported Daniel O'Donnell in his early days for the Walking Irish Association in my area, which was a big thing for me,
All right. But your biggest claim to fame wasn't with Daniel O'Donnell, but with the President of America.
That's right, and that was just a coincidence because I happened to be in Washington at the time, and my brother, Pat, has a big Irish restaurant and bar in Washington, and it was St. Patrick's Day, and we were out walking, and he got a phone call to get back to this restaurant as Mr. Reagan was going to appear. That was 10 minutes before he appeared, and of course it was great. I went back and I got up on stage and started singing, and he spent an hour there, and when he was leaving I shook hands with him, and he presented me with his inauguration pin, and that was something else, and that's great.
So really it was a Tipperary man and an Offaly man together, because his roots are actually Tipperary.
That's right, Ballyporeen, yes.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
your new CD, you have a new CD out at the moment.
I have, yes.
Can you fill us in on what your songs are on that one?
Well, yeah, it's called Troy again. As you know, my name is Michael Troy.
Yeah, but of course around London you're better known as McGinty.
McGinty, yeah, which I prefer.
And tell me, how did you ever come up with the name McGinty?
Well, again, going back to the Addlestone Club in the 60s, late 60s, I played there, and I was always singing Paddy McGinty's Goat, because that was a big hit then for Val Dunican. Right. And they all said I looked like the goat with a beard, and the Diddy Man came from one of the guys in the band, looked like Ken Dodd, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah,
you're actually from Kilcormac.
I'm from Kilcormac in the Midlands in County Offaly.
A great hurling county.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd like to congratulate the KK, Kilcormac Killahide team, who got to the All-Ireland Club hurling final in Croke Park.
Who did they beat to get to the final?
St. Thomas's from Galway. And it was a great game. Unfortunately, we lost by 2 points, but that's history. We won the county final, we won the Leinster final, so,
So you're on the way up?
On the way up. Hopefully the seniors will be on the way up as well.
On your new CD, you've got a song, Portlaoise Town. I haven't actually heard it, but you will give us a verse of it now.
Yes, of course, I'd love to. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Portlaoise Town, McGinty.